higher gas tax and the return of highway tolls. That's what Governor Dannel Malloy wants Connecticut to have. He says it's needed to help fund transportation infrastructure here in the state.
A police officer is lucky to be alive tonight after being dragged a mile down the road during a traffic stop. Dangerous flu season taking the life of another child here in Connecticut. Well, stories now of sexual misconduct are surfacing about actor James Franco after his recent Golden Globes win. Listen to this. Imagine losing a precious memento and having it returned 30 years later, all thanks to the kindness of a stranger.
A group of mothers in Newtown are doing what they can to try to make an impact.
Well, they came together today with pens in hand and stamps ready for letters to be delivered. News 8's anchor Scott McDonald joins us now with more on the messages that they have for folks there in Parkland, Florida. Apple is now looking to hire doctors and nurses to serve as its employees. The tech company is planning to open what they're calling AC wellness clinics. I'm excited about this. As I've shared before, I suffer from migraines, and this new research is promising for the nearly 40 million Americans living with migraines every day. Well, a popular rush hour shortcut closed, but only to some drivers. You see, the town of Leonia, New Jersey is now banning non-residents from passing through that town to get to the George Washington Bridge. And News 8's anchor Scott McDonald is headed to schools all across the state to highlight the great things happening from the hallways to the homerooms. And tonight, he takes us to a school in Stratford where the focus is on technology. With all this cold weather, do you find yourself craving soup? Well, soup is becoming a popular diet, believe it or not, in the winter months. It's called souping.
No, look at that. Well, he asked for it. He's in their turf. He handled it pretty well, and the story did go on.
How does a lemur get to work?
How?
It takes his Madagascar.
There you go.
It's kind of funny.
She'll be here all week. It is kind of funny.
Kind of.
Come on.
As a journalist covering everything from tragic news to celebrity, I've always had a favorite type of story to tell. The stories where people rely on faith. Faith in themselves, faith in the divine, faith in their community. Artist Rosie John begins each painting with a leap of faith.
Usually it starts off with me praying, going, "Dear God, I don't know what I'm doing."
But Rosie is the definition of determination. She was born without arms and grew up with a mindset of why be ordinary when you can be extraordinary.
Painting was something that I did have a desire in my heart, but always felt like I didn't really have the time to do.
The math and computer science major worked in film production as a visual effects producer, but creating this type of art was not part of her plan.
Oh, I've never painted.
Trying to walk on my own, but I'm wound up lost.
That was until a friend, knowing Rosie's creative side, asked her to paint at a women's retreat.
To paint in front of those women required more than just my own strength. So I reached out to God in that moment and said, "Okay, God, this has to be you." And in that moment, I heard his voice very clearly say, "I want you to be my paintbrush."
And she's been painting for the last 7 years in front of charitable groups and schools. Pretty remarkable. You see, Rosie is also a married mother of 3 who takes on motherhood with no bounds. She fed her babies, changed their diapers with her feet. She plays baseball with her family. And often she bikes with her daughter to get ice cream, though there are some limits.
Stop.
But that's what family is for.
Rescue me!
But Rosie has always felt her difference is a gift, not a disability.
In a weird kind of way, I really feel like God was always with me from the very, very beginning.
And that he dances with her now as she paints.
It's a blessing for me because I get to spend that time with God in that moment.
I am so excited. I feel absolutely giddy that I'm about to meet the yarn bomber. So I'm just pulling up to where our location is, where we're supposed to meet tonight. Break on. Oh my gosh. It's just so cool. I've admired this lady's work for weeks now, since I've noticed the yard bombings going up all over Westport. And I vow that I will keep her anonymous.
Okay, I want to hug you. Do we elbow bump?
You're amazing.
So are
You're amazing. Can I just tell you, you're a marvel to me. Like, thank you for doing this for the town and just for everyone. It's a gift.
It's been a gift for me as well. They let the kids out of school March 12th, and March 13th I started. I just needed a focus when this whole thing hit the ground. And I think now I have probably about 25 up.
What are we doing tonight?
So I'm going to show you.
This is your mission should you choose to accept it.
Bedford Square.
Here we are in the dark of night underneath the moonlight. She walks every yarn bomb. It's such a visible spot, which is really, really fun. So what does it feel like for you as you do this?
I'm a little nervous because I want it to turn out right. I'm going to try to match my stripes.
You're worried about matching your stripe color. So we're outside the Anthropology store and Omni, a local restaurant, and here we are.
Supporting local.
I think it took a total of, 15 minutes? 10, 15 minutes? She works fast and it's so beautiful, and I can hardly wait for Westport to see the latest and greatest yarn bombing. It was so fun!